The international break is on, which means that national team coaches around the world recently released their final squads in preparation for the World Cup. The next call-ups we'll be getting after this will contain the final list of players who will be heading to North America to represent their countries in the big showdown in the summer. So this current international break carries a lot of weight for a number of reasons. Like we discussed in a recent video, some players were surprisingly left out of the latest squads, but there are some who were called up but have now decided not to join the team for one reason or another. Who are some of these players? We'll find out in this video today. These are 10 players who just withdrew from their national teams.
Hey Goal 90 family, what's good? The World Cup season is here and you already know the vibes on this channel. So for everyone who's been rocking with us, Goal 90 Shop has World Cup jerseys for the whole squad. Men, women and kids. Whatever country you're repping, we've got ya. Home kits, away kits, clean classics and the loud ones. Instant match day energy. And it's love from us. Free shipping worldwide. Grab yours now and let's run this tournament together.
We'll start with Gabriel Magalhães. Of course, the Arsenal man was initially called up by Carlo Ancelotti for Brazil's upcoming friendly games against France and Croatia, but the centre-back has now asked to remain in London for the international break. After playing 90 minutes in the EFL Cup final against Manchester City, the 28-year-old defender said he felt some pain in his right knee, and that has forced him to withdraw from the Brazil squad. He will be a big miss for Brazil ahead of their preparation games, but we don't think that will affect his place in the team at the World Cup, as he's one that seems to be a guaranteed starter for Brazil, and he's not even the only Arsenal player who has withdrawn from his national team. His centre-back partner William Saliba did the same thing following a full 90 minutes at Wembley on Sunday. The Frenchman is reported to be suffering from some ankle problems after that game against Man City, and as a result of that, he has decided to step down from the French squad. This decision from the Arsenal man opened up a massive opportunity for Maxence Lacroix. Didier Deschamps has called him up to replace William Saliba, and that is the Crystal Palace man's first ever call-up to the France senior team. But believe it or not, that's not even all for Arsenal players who just recently withdrew from their national teams. Do you know who the other guys are? Tell us in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, now back to the video. Another Premier League star who withdrew from international duty is Benjamin Šeško. The Man United striker was called up for Slovenia's upcoming games against Hungary and Montenegro, but he has now taken himself out of the equation, citing fitness problems. Slovenia failed to secure qualification for the 2026 World Cup after finishing third in their group, so perhaps that's one reason why the Man United striker doesn't want to risk picking up an injury in games that may not really matter. But for Italy, the upcoming games in the international break could not be more important. They play Northern Ireland in the UEFA qualifier playoff semi-final, and if they win, they would go on to play the final against Wales or Bosnia and Herzegovina. Failing to qualify for the World Cup for the third consecutive edition would be a massive disaster for a big footballing nation like Italy, so these games are of huge importance, and Gattuso trusted Federico Chiesa to help the team with this big objective, in spite of his limited playing time at Liverpool. But sadly, Chiesa had to withdraw from the squad after medical checks showed that he is not fit to play. Fans thought that Gattuso would use this as an opportunity to bring Nicolo Zaniolo back into the team, but he maintained his decision not to include the former Inter Milan man, instead replacing Chiesa with Bologna striker Nicolo Cambiaghi. Now, from a current Liverpool player to a former one, let's talk about Jarell Quansah. The 23-year-old defender who now plies his trade for Bayer Leverkusen was included in Thomas Tuchel's 35-man squad ahead of their games against Uruguay and Japan, but the player was forced to withdraw due to injury problems. This presented the coach with an opportunity to perhaps call Trent Alexander-Arnold, and many fans thought that he was going to take it, but he insisted on leaving the Real Madrid man out, instead deciding to call up Ben White, which means that the Arsenal man returns to the national team after a 4-year absence. Well, at least a beautiful story came out of this, right? Now, remember we said that there are other Arsenal players on this list? Well, one of them is Eberechi Eze. The attacking midfielder was forced to sit out the League Cup final against Manchester City due to a calf problem, and that has also forced him to withdraw from the latest England squad. After the final, Mikel Arteta said that they will have to do another scan on the player in 6 or 7 days and wait to see the results, so there was just no way they could risk sending him out to play for England. Hopefully the injury is not anything too serious and he'll be back on the pitch in no time. With the former Palace man having withdrawn, Harvey Barnes was called up to replace him in the squad, and he'll be hoping to do enough to impress the coach so he could be considered for the final World Cup squad in the summer, and Eze's case is pretty much the same as that of Jurriën Timber. The defender was called up by Ronald Koeman for the Netherlands game against Norway and Ecuador, but he was forced to pull out of the squad due to an injury. The versatile player has been out with an ankle problem since the 14th of March and is not expected to be back until, at least, the final day of the month. This injury is the reason he wasn't included in the squad for the League Cup final, so he really had no other choice than to withdraw from the Dutch squad. Now, one more Arsenal player was forced to step down from his national team, but before we get to him, let's talk about Bryan Mbeumo. The Cameroon international withdrew from the latest squad ahead of the upcoming FIFA series games against Australia and China. His reason for withdrawing was due to fitness issues, but perhaps it's also because there is not much to play for. Cameroon failed to qualify for the 2026 World Cup after losing to DR Congo in the CAF playoff semi-finals, so perhaps that has made him not want to risk anything in terms of injuries. Instead, he has decided to remain in Manchester to return to 100% fitness and focus on trying to help United secure a top 4 finish in the Premier League this season. Now, to the other Arsenal player on the list, it's Leonardo Trossard. He started the EFL Cup final and played 83 minutes in that game before being replaced by Gabriel Martinelli, but after the game, he was reported to have picked up an injury which forced him to step down from Belgium's squad to face World Cup hosts Mexico and the USA as they prepare for the showdown in the summer. Finally, Hans Vanaken also pulled out of the Belgium squad due to fitness issues. The 33-year-old Club Brugge captain didn't even feature in the club's most recent Belgian Pro League game against KV Mechelen due to a hip issue, and that forced him to withdraw from the Red Devil squad. The national team has permitted him and Trossard to remain at their clubs for the international break in order to continue rehabilitation under optimal conditions. Vanaken is one of the more experienced players in the Belgium squad, having been with the senior team for 8 years now, so he's one that will likely be missed for the preparatory games. But barring anything dramatic, he's expected to be in the World Cup squad. As you must have noticed, this list is heavily dominated by Arsenal players, and for all of them, they were forced to withdraw due to fitness-related issues. This presents a massive scare for the fans, as it feels like the club is currently in an injury crisis. They'll be hoping that these 5 players who have been forced to withdraw, in addition to other injured players like Martin Ødegaard, will be back to full fitness after the international break to help them make a final push for the European treble of the Premier League, Champions League and the FA Cup. But there are some fans who believe that not all these players are being very honest about their injuries and are just stepping down from their national teams so they can be fresh for their club sides in the final stretch of the season. What is your opinion on this? Is that a little too cynical, or do you believe there's some truth to it? Let us know what you think in the comments. Also, let us know if you know of more players who have withdrawn from the latest national team squads. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.